I have 1 hour to learn Roblox UI from scratch. This means I need to make a button, a frame, and actually script it before this timer hits 0. If I fail, you decide my punishment down in the comments below. Let's see if I can pull this off, or if I completely embarrass myself in front of the internet. Let's go. Bros, I don't know what I got myself into, but today we're gonna try and make a UI. My goal is to make a button, a frame, and script them to make the button open and close the frame. If I have enough time, I also want to try to add a hover or bounce effect on the button when your mouse goes over it. So let's hope for the best. I gotta get started ASAP because I only have 1 hour to do this. First things first, we need a screen GUI. Then we're gonna do an image button because I want to use a picture. I think it would look better. Let's drag this somewhere around here for now. With this not so beautiful button, let's go ahead and let's get a texture in here. I'm assuming it would still be called, oh, an image. Yes, let's get an image. I have this vector icon pack. Let's just go players. Let's do a head. And yeah, that's cool. Let's do this one. Create. Now our button looks good. Let's set our anchor point to 0.5 and 0.5. Beautiful. 0.5, comma. That's a period, comma, 0.5. There we go. And then we can just kind of move that back over here. Perfect. And then we need, what did I just uncheck? Let's keep that checked. Then we need our background transparency out of here. So background transparency, boom. Now we have a button. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. We're also going to need a frame. So let's just grab that. Let's put this over here. Let's stretch it so it's more frame-like. I have no idea what's going to be in this frame, nor do I think it'll be designed. Let's do the same thing, though. 0.5 on the anchor points. That is perfectly in the middle of our screen. Nice. And I'm genuinely not sure what to do about this frame. So let's add a rounded... What is that called? UI corner, I think. UI corner. Perfect. I like that. That's a bit much. Let's do 0, 0.8. 0.1. I had my values backwards here. Let's also add a UI stroke. UI stroke. Not size constraint. I don't even know what that does yet. UI stroke. There we go. And thickness, let's bump that up a little bit to kind of match our thing over here. And then just so we're good, let's pick screen color and click on that just to make sure our colors are matching. Now, what is inside of this frame? I have no idea. Let's add a text label. Sure, why not? Set that anchor point, 0.5. I guess since we used a player, let's make it say invite. Invite friends, that looks fantastic. For Doko 1, perfect. And let's scale up that text so it just fills up a little bit more of the screen here. Let's duplicate that. This is going to be interesting because it's not actually going to work, obviously. I just want the frame to be something that's not a blank frame. Friend's name. Let's scale this. We want to keep that box as big as the text, I'm sure. Let's scale this down a little bit. And then I know there's a box you're able to type in, probably a text box. That makes sense, yes. Let's center that. Drag it out a little bit. I feel like I'm spending a bit too much time on the design here. Yikes. Let's make our overall frame. All right, I'm going to scale up all of this stuff. Yeah, something like that. Let's center it once again. Cool. And text box. I've never seen or used this before, so I'm not sure how to edit how it looks. Text color, good. Background color. All right, let's make that a little bit lighter so it looks like you could actually type there. Let's stretch this out a little bit. This frame is actually going to serve like zero purpose because Roblox has a thing where you can just invite friends normally, and it has a UI already made. This is purely for practice. We'll do type name here. And then this frame, we should be fine with the design. Visible, not visible, there we go. We're good. We have a button, we have a frame. Let's try to open up some scripts, man. Let's try to get this thing to work. Now, if we're lucky, I could just kind of put a local script in here and paste this that I found on Google. Let me delete that space because it's ugly. And let's just see if that works. I doubt we'll be that lucky here. Let me make the frame visible, or invisible, I guess, and hit play. All right, so we have an infinite yield possible. So now we get to trace down that bug. And this button, obviously, is not the text label. It would be the image button. So let's just copy this name, paste it in here, and then let's go ahead and click play again. Now, if we hit our little bubbly guy here, the noob head, click, it opens up our frame. We can type here, Robo, and yeah, obviously this frame's not gonna do anything, but it is nice that it works, and it only took me 15 minutes to get to this point. Am I proud of that? No, we have a button, we have a frame, and it works. Now I want to try to add a bounce effect when you hover over this button, just for a little extra, you know? And then we might try to design that frame to look a little better as well. So let's go to the image button, and we're going to add a local script into that. And our variables are going to be the start size and the hover size. Start size is equal to udum2.new, and then we're going to copy our size right down here. I'm gonna make these a bit more rounded, so let's do 55 here and just 100 here. That'll make it easier for me to, you know, add the same size to both. So there we go. We probably don't need all of these extra brackets. That's why it's given us our little red underline there. Awesome. Let's copy that, and we're going to do hover size here. What? It like dang near typed it in for me. Hover size. How do I just submit this? Whatever, that's fine. And then we're just gonna boost this up a little bit. So we're at 0.55. If we did, I don't know, let's just add 10 to that. So 6.5, and then this to 110. Sure. All right, we've got our variables. I am going to find out how to do this either with ChatGPT or AI. Or YouTube. And even if it doesn't work, I like seeing the errors, and it helps me narrow down where I need to go or what I need to change. It's better than just starting from scratch, especially for someone like me who doesn't really know much about coding. All right, fellas, here we go. I also noticed when I was typing this out, or the hover size, it's hover rise. But that's just because I had it wrong up here, but that doesn't really matter. Let's test this out and see if our button hovers. All right, nothing happens. Good for us. Let's see what's going on. Expected this instead of this, calling member function tween size. Okay, so do we just change? Wait, it says it's expected that it's a double dot and not a dot, but it is a dot, unless it works backwards. So let's change this. Let's get out of here. Let's just change this to the other thing. So to this. And we probably need to do that on both. All right, let's give that a whirl and see if we have the same error. It works, sort of. Look, wait, did it not? I thought it was. Output. That's not from this video. Cloud, that's not here. I think it did work, but it only worked once. So let me stop playing and let me play again. So if we hover over it right here, okay, it does work. It doesn't return back to its normal size when I unhover. Okay, so that's what we got to figure out next. And I sadly don't have much time to figure it out. Guys, here's the timer. Guys, this was my fault, okay? So I copy and pasted this, and I only changed hover size to start size. But mouse enter, it's only seeing that my mouse has entered it, like into that zone. So I think there's mouse leave. There we go, mouse leave. That makes sense. And now we should be able to test, and we should have a nice working, look at this, leave. There we go, guys. We have a bouncy button. And if we click it, it opens up the frame. And for anyone who knows how to script and does this kind of stuff, that probably takes like 2 minutes. What we're gonna do now is just enhance our frame a little bit, something like that. So invite friends, friend's name. I sadly don't have enough time. I just tried to select it with this. I sadly don't have enough time to make this the spacing correct and everything like that, but if we click play, we have a button with a bounce effect and a frame that opens up that we can type in. I feel pretty proud of it. It took me too long, but when you're learning something new, that definitely does happen. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comments below. And sadly, you guys don't get to leave me a challenge because I was able to complete the assigned task within the assigned amount of time. But guys, that will wrap it up for today. If you did enjoy and want to see more content like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.